hi, are you somebody who feels that they're not in the right job, or they're just not happy with the home they're living in, or the relationship or friendships that they're in, the family situations, etc.? In fact, I'd say most people in this world will always have some sort of nagging, niggling feeling within them where that certain questions that are making them not quite as happy just keep bubbling to the surface, and the voice starts to get louder and louder. If that's you, then do please stick around for this short video, because I would like to share with you a system I like to term as OI, something that can help as a tool to stop you from self-sabotaging. Interested? Hi, I'm Dolly Malik, formerly in corporate leadership, now blessed to be an international philanthropist and a certified life, health and wellbeing coach. And in this short video, I wanted to talk about the tool that I call OI. We've heard about artificial intelligence as being the buzzword right now, but how about that intelligence that actually truly resides within us? So for example, you may be wanting to go for that dream job. You see it appear, within your company posting, but then you talk yourself down, you self-sabotage thinking, it's really, it would be my ideal job. I'd be so happy in it. I'm really not happy where I am, but yet I can't. Look at what they're asking for. Look at the qualifications, the experience I need, etc. And you end up self-sabotaging. It could be that you constantly drive past what you deem maybe as your dream home, but yet you keep driving past it, you constantly keep driving past it. You're almost picturizing yourself living there rather than the people that are currently living there, right? But you think, it's just a dream, it's just a fantasy. Unless I win the lottery or something, there's no way that I'm going to be financially viable to afford that in this lifetime. Let me share with you that the reason why we do not home in as much on our OI as probably the most successful and happiest people in the world, who I'd say use it on a daily basis, if not even more often throughout the day as well, is probably because we have a lot of other factors that help to quieten and push that voice within us down. So that organic intelligence, what is also known as our gut feeling, it's our higher self talking to us of what it really believes is there to help us to reach our more suited higher purpose, and what could be there to help us be living a happier, more fruitful life. And that could be partly because of societal pressures around us, parental conditioning. It could be that we're completely nowadays soaked in third-party energies around social media. We get a lot of our so-called intelligence and news from the likes of devices and social media, rather than really listening in on what our OI says. And the other thing I would say, if you've kind of counteracted all those parts, the other thing that can be quite difficult is our fear of stepping outside our comfort zone. Because in order for us to achieve those things, for example, going after that job or going after that dream house because we're constantly being guided towards it, it could well be because we are just too scared to take that leap of faith and that risk to make a change in our lives in order to achieve it. Change is never easy, and so a lot of people in this world would rather just let those thoughts and those dreams stay just as dreams rather than take action on them. However, although everyone's talking about the likes of ChatGPT and everyone reaches straight for devices to find their answers, why do we not always look and think that the answers lie within us? I want to share with you a quick example of what changed in my life. I've been very much an intuitive person from childhood, but something that happened a few years ago really transformed and heightened how I pretty much do everything now, decision-wise, on an intuitive basis. And it happened just over 2.5 years ago now. In terms of when I was back in the UK, I'm currently over in India, but back in the UK, where I do actually reside, it was during the time of COVID. In fact, it's coming up to 3 years now. So during the time of COVID, and my father had just passed away. My parents had actually retired over in India from the UK. My mother had passed away a few years prior to that. So when I got the call, it was around the time that I had actually just retired and resigned from my corporate life. And within a couple of weeks of that, I got notification of my father and other family members passing away. And I was also going through a house move at the time. I was that close to signing contracts. So I was actually going through probably some incredibly stressful times in life simultaneously that many people probably would struggle through during a whole lifetime. But I thought, okay, no, I'm so close to going through this home sale. I'll let that go through. I can't go across to India right now because at the time, during COVID, India had its borders closed, so I wasn't able to actually physically go across till about 8 months after the bereavements had happened. And so I thought, no, okay, I will let this carry on. At least ticking off the house, the home sale would be one thing off the to-do list, and then I could go over there. 3 times, however, the sale fell through, 3 times for various different reasons, right towards the pivotal moments of contract exchange. And at the time, I actually let it be. My friends at the time were like, Dolly, how can you not get so stressed? How can you remain so calm over these things? Because you're going through so much when it comes to bereavement. You're an only child, you haven't got anything else, any other kind of support around you right now, and you can't physically go over either. And I just thought, okay, I will, for now, I've kind of got the message. My inner voice is saying to me, after the third time, no, selling is not the right option for you right now. So I spoke to my agent at the time and I said, let's take it off the market. My key priority right now is actually to get across to India and to see what's going on there, and then give me a few months before I decide further down the line what to do next. And for my first visit into India, it was only very brief. It was on a travel visa, so I was literally there for a matter of weeks. It was during COVID, so everything was pretty much like a ghost town, whichever cities I was heading towards and stuff. And I can understand now, in retrospect, of why my higher self was saying to me, do not sell right now. And that's why the universe kept stopping it, because when I came over here, there was utter chaos. There was a lot of things. I had no time for grief as such. There was a lot of things I had to sort out in terms of financials, taxes, family estates, properties, staff, and taking care of them. So there was an awful lot of other things that I had to put ahead of any kind of bereavement or anything. So I think in hindsight, really, me listening in on that was to my best interest, because to have really still had to go through, ultimately the property, had it gone through as a sale, would have ended up with a lot of things having to be done at the same time as India opened its borders. So I would have legally had to have moved out and vacated one of those properties of mine over there in the UK in order to fulfill that side. And then I'd be rushing, and because I was only there here for a few weeks at that point, I'd literally be coming back to even more chaos. So then when I came to India, I realised just how much there was for me to deal with, and I came back to the UK. And at that point I decided that no, it seems, in fact, through some of my meditation and stuff, I thought, no, it seems that maybe I should put the place up for rent instead. That way there's some stability, and let me just give it a go, see if that is really what my gut instinct is really urging me to do. So I spoke to my sales agent to discuss that side of things, and we tried it through that process, and the rental happened just like that. It was just seamless. It was literally within a matter of days that everything went through, contracts, etc., all happened. And from that point onwards, I always learned that I should just trust my instinct and my guts, because when I'm really fine-tuned and at one with myself, then I know that what's meant to be for me will always happen in my best interest and for my higher purpose. So that's an example of how that episode has really transformed my decision making going forwards with everything I do now. I've had a lot of major decisions to do over here in India, and even going forwards now as I start to make that transition back to the UK. I've been here for like almost 2 years, and this second year is where I now start to consolidate my business interests and my properties and things, and start to return back. And again, that came to me through listening to my gut. And then there was other signs for when I wasn't quite sure, should it be the right move, should it not quite be the right move, because I was intending actually to start building this much wider international life for me. But I decided to go with this, and that's where I am. So that's sort of a brief example of the importance of trusting your gut. But you might be saying, that's all good and well, but I can't quite listen to that inner voice of mine so easily. So how can you achieve it? I can show you 3 quick techniques that could help to fine-tune you to become more at one with your organic intelligence. And that is, firstly, the power of journaling. You may have had a diary when you were a child, or even not. You may constantly be speaking to that inner voice. I'd say we all constantly speak to our inner voice. Putting it into a journal really helps in terms of what it could achieve for that moment in time you are setting, that mindset and that emotion there and then. Also, I did another thing, these are all techniques I did whilst making some of the biggest decisions in my life. And the other thing, especially during this episode, was I was often going out into the garden to take fresh air, to do some breath work, and to really be at one with nature, just so I could home in on myself and to really hear myself think, rather than away from everyone else of, that outside chatter of, oh, are you sure this is quite right? Are you sure that's that? Just going by myself and thinking, this is my decision and my decision alone that I need to make. So that was the other decision that, the other tool that I used that's very effective. And the third tool that I home in a lot, that people may not be as comfortable with, is meditation. And I know there can be a lot of sort of stereotype and stigma around meditation in terms of certain positions and poses and how long to do it for and stuff, but start small and just really, even if it's for a minute at a time, just away from everyone, quieten your mind separately and just go within. Just think of whatever's coming into your head and just write it down. That's all it is. And just, you'll find slowly that you'll start building up on that. And as that happens, your OI starts to increase as well in terms of that connection you have with it. So there is my short video and my experiences around how we can stop self-sabotaging using the power of our organic intelligence. Do please comment down below if you've constantly had those nagging feelings within yourself, and also do please comment in terms of how often you tend to use your gut instincts. I mean, in terms of me coming back to the UK, I wasn't planning to return quite so soon, but I meditated around New Year's Eve and the thought just popped into my head, and every once in a while when I've had that nagging thought of am I making the right move or not to fully sort of do some big shifts back over there, I noticed just about everyone around me is actually on the move themselves, so to speak. So it's almost like my gut validating that no, you are doing exactly the right thing and we're right behind you. So I wish you all the very best in ensuring that you stop self-sabotaging and you listen to your higher self to make yourself a happier, more purposeful you. Thank you so much for watching, and if you feel inclined to, I'd greatly appreciate if you could subscribe, and do please like and share with those who you feel inclined might be in need of this type of content.